Everybody, what is going on? The catch fam. Hope everyone out there is having a great start to the week. Hope everyone had a fantastic Monday. It's another night here at the catch, which means it's another night. We are hopping into a live 2024 fantasy football draft. We're going to hop into Best Ball Mania draft. I kind of want to get a weekly winners in tonight as well. But I think we'll start with the Best Ball Mania. We'll see how I feel, and then potentially hop into a weekly winners tonight as well. If not, I think tomorrow I'll run like 2 weekly winners for you guys. So you know what it is. We're going to have some fun. We're going to talk some fantasy football, and we are going to draft another squad for the 2024 season. So I'm going to go ahead and hop into the lobby, and we will go from there. So let's see. 5 spots open for anyone out there who does potentially want to draft tonight. Just enter the 30 seconds per pick lobby under Best Ball Mania, and you should get thrown in here with me. There's now 4 spots available. So let's do it. We finally have some off-season news. As every stream I've ran for the past 2 weeks, there's been no real news, but Justin Jefferson and the Vikings agree on a 4-year contract extension worth $140 million, including $110 million guaranteed. He's now the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. So, right time to do it. I mean, the contract will expire theoretically when JJ McCarthy's contract also expires. So, they're going to rely more likely on JJ McCarthy pretty heavily here, and or Sam Darnold and whatever other journeyman quarterbacks they maybe potentially pick up and or I guess draft along the way, because this contract is pretty hefty. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not like JJ doesn't deserve this contract by any means. So, but this finally got done, and now we've got some other wide receivers out there. I think the number one name is CeeDee Lamb, who's probably pretty happy right now, and will probably be looking for a contract himself sooner rather than later. But for all you guys thinking Justin Jefferson may get traded to another team, that's not happening. And he will remain a Viking. Ooh, we don't like that view. I've never messed with this where I can look at all the different views. I kind of like this view right here. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it like this for a minute and see how it goes. Only problem is, the chat's gonna kind of cover things up here. So let's go to the classic. This tends to work. But Cats, good to see you. Got to chill on Underdog for a little while, throwing away too much money. It's the best time of year to draft, because competition is not going to be as steep in comparison to once we get into July and August and those months. But I totally understand. Set a budget, follow it, go from there. All right, J-Dubs, good to have you in the draft tonight and in the house for the stream at the 1.1. Going with CMC, no surprise there. All right, get one thing taken care of here. And where am I at tonight? The 1.11. No idea who I want to go with. I do need to. Our last Underdog draft was like just kind of a free for all. So tonight, need to put a little bit of thought into, first 2 drafts I did for the season. We were very strategic, and that third draft that we drafted Saturday night with Pete, it was like, let's just draft a team and not think too much about it. So tonight we will definitely be looking to put some actual thought behind what we're doing. But 1.11, kind of a weird spot. Like AJ Brown might be there. I mean, Garrett Wilson's really moving up in draft boards lately. Puka Nacua might be there. Jahmyr Gibbs might be there. I think if Gibbs is there, I'll start with Gibbs tonight, kind of go hero running back, and go from there. and then go wide receiver at pick 14. If Gibbs is not there, then I think I'll just go back to back wide receiver with these first two picks. But I don't know. I kind of like Barkley. I don't mind going Barkley at like pick 14. So there goes AJ Brown. So yeah, let's go. This is close. Let's go Puka, actually. I don't think Gibbs is going to fall here, but I think we can go Saquon or we can go double wide receiver. And I'm still pretty happy, even in comparison to not getting Gibbs, who I think I'm still higher on than Saquon. But I don't know. This is just a tough tier right here. There goes Drake London. The reason I like Puka in this range is because you get Matthew Stafford so cheap later on that it's just such a nice like kind of value stack, right? All right, so yeah, there goes Gibbs, and let's go with Saquon here. Let's go wide receiver, running back to start, and I'm okay with that start. I am. So we'll go from here. So the other option there, I think, is just go back to back wide receiver. I mean, if we go running back, it's JT, or maybe kind of reach for A-Chain or Kyron. ADP doesn't really follow that, so it would be a reach. But the tier wide receiver is kind of interesting, as ETN goes much earlier than he's been going as of late in drafts at the 2.3 there. So maybe going A-Chain or Kyron, not a reach. But yeah, I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr., Brandon Ayuk, Chris Olave, Devontae Adams, Debo, Nico. Like, I kind of like I almost kind of like Nico the most out of that tier. Call me crazy. J-Dubs, thank you so much for gifting a 1-month membership. It goes to Cats in the chat. What a guy. Clap hand emojis in the chat for J-Dubs. All right. So looking ahead here, we've got pick 35 and pick 38. So right in that range, we're kind of looking at, man, there's a possibility that Kupp falls there. And I'll pick Cooper Kupp if he's there. And that way we can just go all in on the Rams offense. There's a chance Michael Pittman's there, but I doubt it. So then we're looking at, we could potentially go Jalen Hurts. And like there's this really small chance Devonta Smith lasts to pick 35, but I don't think it. Because if you go Devonta Smith, then Jalen Hurts, I would be really happy with that start. Just going all in on the Eagles, getting some stack action. But yeah, so I mean, if we're looking purely at ADP, picks 35, 36, 37, 38, we're looking at a range of like Josh Allen, Zay Flowers, Jalen Hurts, Travis Kelce, Tank Dell. The names going beforehand would be Cooper Kupp, Derrick Henry. Then going afterwards, Higgins and Lamar. So once again, just kind of an odd tier. Filoni, what's up, bro? You drafting with us? No, but good to have you in the house tonight. Isn't stacking Puka and Kupp counterproductive? Unlikely both pay off ADP. For me, best ball, it's like the weeks that they are performing, especially if they are performing, there goes Hurts and Devonta Smith, like weeks 15, 16, 17, even if it's like a 12-point stat line for Kupp and a 20-point stat line for Puka, or even vice versa, like then it still makes it worth it, especially in those later weeks. And I think theoretically, right, if Puka and or Kupp are having good weeks, then Staph infection is having a good week as well. So in terms of stacking, I don't think so, but I don't think it's crazy to say that both might not pay off at ADP. But it's kind of like the thing with best balls, you're not necessarily drafting for the entire season, like in a sense you are, but like if you look at it from a week to week basis and just helping you to advance, um, yeah, although this is not weekly winners, then it can still pay off if that makes sense. I don't know if that made the most sense the way I explained it. All right, so man, I just have a tough time passing on Derrick Henry here if he's available. I think Michael Pittman's a great value. Okay, I'm really unsure about this team in front of me, but I'm gonna go Derrick Henry here and see if Cup falls. If he doesn't fall, then I'm kind of left with an interesting conundrum because we got, I mean, Pittman, Cup, Malik Neighbors, Tank Dell, and I mean, T. Higgins, your top available wide receivers. He goes Neighbors. You got Josh Allen and Travis Kelsey staring you down right here. Then Lamar's here too. Derrick Henry, Lamar could be really interesting. But for me, it's like I still want a wide receiver here. So I think I just go Cup here and we stick with the plan and move along. Now, the only thing that we really need to pay attention to moving forward, and there, backtrack, there's a lot of good value here. Really, based on any given strategy right here, there's a lot of good value. Josh Allen, Travis Kelsey, Tank Dell, Higgins, Lamar Jackson, Pickens, Jacobs, McBride, Amari Cooper, Pacheco, Mahomes, Kirk, Kincaid, Andrews, Keenan Allen, your top available players right now. I mean, there's a lot of directions we could have gone right there, but we'll just kind of continue to go aggressively into this Ram stack. And I think start with two really, really good value running backs in Barkley and Henry, albeit, I mean, veteran guys, whatever. But I don't know. Like, am I going to be upset going into the season with those two guys as my RB1 and RB2? No, not. All right, let's see. What's up, Cameron? Good to see you, bro. What a stacked Harrison with Puka personally for the week 17 correlation, Arizona versus Rams. Yeah. And like we talked about Saturday night, like this is one thing I really need to start paying more attention to is the actual schedule. I mean, I have it pulled up right in front of me, but so I think Cameron's saying would have done what I did, the Rams wide receivers, but it's going to depend what time this draft finishes, but I'm thinking about entering weekly winners tonight as well. Yeah. You know, getting Marvin Harrison Jr. there, I don't think is a bad start by any means. I actually think a lot of people would argue that MH Jr. was the right pick there. But it's interesting because then you got ETN and JT off the board. So that's the other thing too with underdog drafts, right? Is half PPR. So there's kind of this back and forth, like balancing act, right? Like you want to go heavy wide receiver because you're playing three wide receivers. And then like, you can obviously have a wide receiver in the flex as well. So there's a lot of value and merit to going aggressively at wide receiver. But then you're still starting two running backs and it's half PPR. So they kind of have like their own given value too. So it's tough. On a super puppy, currently, I did see that available, and I do want to enter a couple puppies as well. Wide receiver stacking is effective in best ball because in games where wide receiver scores 25 plus, 70% of the time, the wide receiver 2 scores 15 or more. This is an interesting statistic. And I will definitely keep this in mind. I like that. Interested in doing a Superflex puppy. Haven't done a best ball Superflex in a while. I love me some good Superflex drafts on here. Allen at 42 is awesome. Yeah, he fell back. I mean, you got Hurts at the 3.2. I mean, you're always going to see variations when it comes to underdog drafts, but Allen last to the 4.6. That's a really interesting team. JJ, Adams, Diggs, Allen. For a second, my brain went, oh, there's a stack there. But then I'm like, oh, no. Diggs is not on the Bills. That's not a thing. All right, so we've got picks 59 and 62 coming up. So we're kind of in this range. James Cook, Jaden Reed, Rashad White, Joe Mixon, Xavier Worthy, Calvin Ridley, Kenneth Walker. Kind of where we're sitting at. I'd be really happy if James Cook fell here. But we also need some wide receiver help. I like Keenan Allen. I don't think he'll be available here. I feel like I'm like, oh, there goes James Cook. I'm not out on Jaden Reed. It's just like I'd rather draft Dobbs later. So or Dontavion Wicks even, or Musgrave even. See, I'm going to be very, very tempted to go Rashad White here. And here's the other thing I have to keep in mind is what is Matthew Stafford's ADP? Because we've basically committed to a late round quarterback build. He's not going to like 149. But I could get a QB1 here too. There goes White. There goes my boy. This is an interesting pick. But I'm going to go CJ Stroud here. Let's get QB1 out of the way, and then theoretically we can just get Stafford late. J-Dubs, don't pick Stafford. He sucks. And I think that's enough. Let's see. Yeah, different bye weeks. So I'm okay with Stroud here. But I wanted Rashad White, even though like wide receiver makes more sense here. So, and I think this allows us to potentially go late round tight end as well, which I'm okay with. So I'll go wide receiver here, but man, this is a weird tier of wide receiver. McLaurin, Xavier Worthy, Calvin Ridley, Dunze, Addison, Godwin. I'm just going to go Scary Terry. I mean, I still like Washington's offense going into the season. And if all else fails, Jaden Daniels, he's getting selected a few spots up ahead from Stafford. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know. In that tier of wide receivers, McLaurin, Ridley, Xavier Worthy, Dunze, Addison, Godwin. Who do you guys like the best? Because I do really like Chris Godwin. But I have like quite a bit of exposure already to Chris Godwin. So I'm okay switching it up there, you know. And Xavier Worthy feels fun right there, but I still kind of worry about him. I don't know if I've drafted him in a single draft yet. So, but yeah, this is going to be a heavy wide receiver round for sure. For sure. I got to get Dalton Schultz now. Absolutely. I won't take Stafford naked. No way. A-Rich is a different story. Nice. I've already been thinking about Kobe Parkinson tonight. Yeah, for sure. 8th round Jelani Woods. Yeah. Ready to get hurt again. Who is the true tight end one for the Colts? Only God knows. All right, so let's look ahead here because the two guys that I really have to keep in mind are Schultz and Stafford. Colby Parkinson's ADP is 213. I have a bad feeling about Parkinson though. I have a bad feeling he's not even going to be like a starter this year, even though everything points to him doing so. There goes Ladd. I like Ladd in the 7th. All right, so let's look ahead here. We have picks 83 and 86. Maybe go for a running back here. DeAndre Swift would be my pick. But guess what? Yeah. Those are guys who've been drafting with me, that's who I like in that tier. But if not, I mean, probably You got Aaron Jones, Ramondre Stevenson, Zamir White, Swift, Brooks, Jalen Warren, Zach Moss, James Conner. Like, pick your poison. But other than that, need to get another wide receiver, or I could just go double wide receiver here. I might do that as well. And just, I mean, we have Barkley and Henry, so maybe I just like really rely on those two. But the thing I've noticed so far in these best ball drafts, best ball mania drafts, like, yeah, so our next two picks are at 107 and 101, 110. Sorry. The drop off at running back is like, I mean, those are really the last two spots that I think we'll be able to really draft anyone of substance, because then we move back down to 131 and you're going like pure handcuff at that point. So we either go double wide receiver here or wide receiver running back. But even then, like, we're still going to be taking dart throws at running backs. Sorry, I messed up the screen, but it just depends, because we're seeing a lot of wide receivers go here, and there are some names available that I like. Jameson Williams is one of them, so maybe that helps my decision here. And then I really like Cortland Sutton, who, I don't know, a lot of people are like, don't like Cortland Sutton, so he might get picked here, he might not get picked here. He is the top rated wide receiver, but then you got Curtis Samuel, Lockett, Mike Williams, Dobbs. I do like Dobbs in this range. Khalil Shakir. Yeah, I'll go Sutton. I'm okay with Sutton here. And then I think I'm just going to go with DeAndre Swift with the next pick. Although Aaron Jones is here. Evan Ingram is here. You got good quarterbacks, Burrow, Murray, Jake Ferguson. But wide receivers have taken a massive hit through these last two rounds. McLaurin, Ridley, Worthy, Adunze, Coleman, Addison, Brian Thomas, Hopkins, Ladd, JSN, Godwin, Watson, Deontay, Rashee Rice, JMO, all gone. And then Sutton. So I think if we hold off at wide receiver, we're not losing a tremendous amount of value. We're going to be taking some dart throws anyways. All right, give me my boy. Give me Swifty, and let's move along. All right, so we're looking at CJ Stroud, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, DeAndre Swift, Puka, Cooper Kupp, Terry McLaurin, Cortland Sutton so far. No tight end. I'm liking it. A little different tonight, but I like it. Colby Parkinson is not going to be a thing. Probably not. But I like drafting players like that sometimes. So his ADP is 213, which means in a lot of drafts he's not even getting drafted. Like, he could be our last pick. Well, maybe not a lot of. I don't know. There's 216 picks in a draft, in a Best Ball Mania draft right now. So some drafts he might not even get drafted. But we have picked 206. If he's there, I'll just take him there. It's like it doesn't hurt. Like, you're already taking a dart throw anyways, and but like I said, I mean, I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you, but it's worth the risk, so to speak, I think. All right, so looking ahead, we have picks 107 and 110. And we're probably going to have to reach for Dalton Schultz, which I don't hate. Like, that's the thing when it comes to these underdog drafts. I just don't think, like, when you're building specific stacks, going with specific strategies, whatever, right? Like, I don't think you should be afraid to reach for players. And really, in your normal, like, redraft drafts and even dynasty drafts, it's like, I don't really think you should be afraid to reach for specific players anytime. Like, that these are your guys that you want on this specific team for a specific reason, then just go get them. I mean, we don't need to be taking, like, Dalton Schultz. Where did we draft Stroud in round 5? So we don't need to take Dalton Schultz in round 6. Like, you don't need to get crazy with it. But if I have to pick him 10 spots against ADP when I'm at the turn, I don't care, But I will say Romeo Dobbs is the top player I have on my radar right now. So we'll see here, because we saw 2 really heavy wide receiver rounds. And now we've seen a round Really round 7 kind of ended with 2 quarterbacks. Then here in round 8, just one wide receiver and Tyler Lockett, all running backs, tight ends, quarterbacks. And around 9 so far, just one wide receiver gone, 2 tight ends, a running back, and Caleb Williams. So goes Brock Bowers. So right now at wide receiver, we're looking at Curtis Samuel, Romeo Dobbs, Khalil Shakir, Rashid Shaheed, A.D. Mitchell as your top rated guys. Interesting running back tier right now. There goes Javonte Williams, who I think is a good value there. But there are some interesting running backs laying around. Tony Pollard, Raheem Mostert, Devin Singletary, Brian Robinson Jr., Tajay Spears, Gus the Bus. But I think wide receiver holds more merit for this team at the moment because we have 3 running backs that I feel good about. So we have, oh no. Oh no. We needed Romeo. Oh gosh. Hate when this happens. I don't like anyone available. I don't. Dalton Schultz is a top available tight end. Like, just give me Dalton. Like, gosh. Give me the stack. I don't even care. Khalil Shakir, Rashid Shaheed, A.D. Mitchell, Josh Palmer, Jacoby Myers. Like, I like the next tier wide receivers more, and they should be sitting there at the next turn. So I guess I just go running back. I keep ending up with Tony Pollard. Thank you. I end up with Tony Pollard in like every draft. He's just like there, and I just don't pass on him. So I guess I'll draft Gus Edwards or Brian Robinson Jr. or Austin Eckler here. Because our next 2 picks are 131 and 134, and we have to take Stafford with one of those 2 picks. I mean, we don't have to, but if we don't want to, we'll probably miss him if we don't. Just give me Gus the Bus here. You go Gus. I mean, Brian Robinson, Devin Singletary, Austin Eckler. Dang, there goes Luke Musgrave. That's okay though. That's the thing. I do want like another. I thought Musgrave would last a little bit longer, but it actually made sense. He was the next rated tight end on the board. So, all right, we're going to be looking for some late round wide receivers. Let's do it. I feel okay about this team, though. CJ Stroud, Barkley, Henry, Swift, Gus, Puka, Cooper Kupp, Terry McLaurin, Cortland Sutton, Dalton Schultz. We have a lot of week 14 and week 6 buys. Like, even without stacking, like Washington and Denver have the same buy as Houston. And then the Chargers and the Eagles have the same buy, but oh well. We don't want to think too much into that. Likely could be a good pick for this team. Contingent value of Andrews goes down before week 17 versus Texans. So this is an interesting theory. He looks like Andrews does kind of miss time here and there, so that should be a big game. Chase, what's up, my dude? Good to see you, man. How you been? If I could do Underdog in my state, I would draft with y'all. We would love to have you. You're here in spirit, though. We appreciate that. Good to see you, man. What's going on with you? Okay, looking ahead here. Picks 131, 134. Like I said, we have picks 155 and 158. Stafford's ADP is 149. And with the draft capital that like we spent on Puka and Cooper Kupp, like I'm really hoping no one reaches for Matthew Stafford because, like, I mean, you just never know. Like, I've done enough of these. You just never know. Like, I mean, you got Tua, Goff, Herbert, Cousins, Stafford, Rodgers, Deshaun Watson, Baker Mayfield available. Like, Yeah, I don't know. Sometimes people like look at the board and be like, "Oh, this guy has Cup and Puka. Like, I don't want him to have the stack," you know. Or sometimes people might genuinely feel like that is the best available quarterback, and they want him as their QB 2 or 3 or whatever. So you guys never know. I'm gonna have to take him with one of these next 2 picks, and then I'm hoping Jahan Dotson falls because I just once again like I like the correlation there, right? 2 Rams wide receivers, 2 Washington wide receivers. Theoretically, on weeks that these offenses perform well, we're getting a lot of given points. So I also just like Dotson like as a late round value. But I like Austin Eckler in this range, but we have 4 running backs. We need to continue to get wide receiver depth. So, and there are tight ends sitting right here that I like. Hawkinson, Fryermuth, Komet. So, tough pickings coming up here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so here in round 11, we got Cooks, Chase Brown, Blake Corum, and Zeke gone. Yes, I talked about that drop off at running back. For me, I think after Nick Chubb and Austin Eckler go, there's a pretty drastic drop off. You really move into like a handcuff type territory, and there goes Jerome Ford. And I like Ford a lot in this range, but Chubb, Eckler, Charbs, Rico Dowdle, Marshawn Lloyd, Kendre Miller, Ty Chandler, Jalen Wright, Tyler Algier, like and then it just doesn't get better. Like you're just looking at all like rookies who aren't in like good landing spots. You got guys like Antonio Gibson, Chuba Hubbard. There's some value there maybe, but man, it's just a big drop off. So, the team in front of me is 1 quarterback. I don't know. We still got Tua, Herbert, Cousins. But I'm telling you, if I don't get Stafford, I'm just going to end the stream. Like, just kidding. But, and this is a tough pick right here, man. We got a lot of good names. I really like Austin Eckler in this range. Like, I understand that Eckler's year last year was like trash. And I get that Brian Robinson is there. I'm just going to draft Austin. Like, we're done at running back. Okay. Saquon, Henry, Swift, Gus, Eckler. We do not need another running back. We're going to get Stafford with this next pick. I mean, here's the other thing we could do is we could just go wide receiver here. Because like there are guys, Dontavion Wicks, Jahan Dotson, Josh Downs. I mean, even guys like Ricky Pearsall. There are guys that I like right here. But we have to get Stafford. Like we could risk it and see if Stafford lasts till pick 155, but no way. I'm nervous right now that Stafford's going to get picked. So, yeah, I think Dotson's really in my head. I was going to go Dotson then Stafford, but give me Stafford. Yes, Tua's here, Herbert's here, but I mean, we have Puka and Cooper Kupp, so. Yeah, an RB heavy team tonight. I was not expecting this. This is not really something I do on a regular basis, but here we are. We got Stroud, Stafford, Barkley, Henry, Swift, Gus, Eckler, Puka, Cooper Kupp, McLaurin, Sutton, and Dalton Schultz. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more picks. So 3 wide receivers. No, 4 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. That's what we're hunting for. So we're going to be taking some dart throws, but sometimes this is fun. And we'll see who's around at tight end. Okay, so I'm just going to queue up everybody. Dontavion Wicks, Gabe Davis. How do you guys feel about... Never mind. Xavier Leggett, who I was about to bring up. Ricky Pearsall, Darnell Mooney, Jermaine Burton, Russell Wilson. Excuse me, Roman Wilson. Troy Franklin, Malachi Corley, I guess Adam Thielen, I guess Rashad Bateman, I guess Michael Wilson, I guess Randall Robinson. As I'm calling out these names, let me know who you guys actually like. I really like Demario Douglas and Demarcus Robinson, whose ADPs are back to back. I think where they're going, they are good values. After that, we're looking at players like Tyler Boyd, DJ Chark, Odell Beckham. It just gets Elijah Moore, Jalen Hyatt. Like, it just gets real gross. I kind of like KJ Osborne. Like, he's being drafted. His ADP is 215. It's like, yes, what you got 2 rookie wide receivers in front of him, but and then like we like Demario Douglas. I guess Juju's there, Kendrick Bourne's there. I don't know, but like I feel like he's a good enough player that there's a the possibility with your last draft pick he does something. Burton has the best chance to rise in ADP from here. Well, he's gone. He's on J-Dub's team. I do have already a pretty good amount of shares of Burton, so I do like him as a late round guy. I do like Ty Chandler in this range for looking at running back. I feel like Chandler could get involved even with Aaron Jones there. Bateman, truther here. I've been drafting a little. I've been mingling with some Bateman lately. So, you know, I don't really know why. I'm not really in on him. But I am in on the Ravens offense. And I was really high on Bateman earlier in his career, but then he just hasn't stayed healthy. So, but I've been mingling in a little bit of Rashad Bateman. So, all the tight ends I wanted to get wiped out right in front of me. How do you guys? I feel like Chicken Conquo is still a good value at tight end. All right, well, give me Rashad Bateman, baby. Let's do it. I mean, you got Jalen Polk, Troy Franklin, Adam Thielen, Malachi Corley, Marvin Mims, Michael Wilson. I like Troy Franklin enough. And I've got Sutton on this team. Like, go Broncos. I don't know. I was really hoping Freiermuth, Hawkinson, or Komet would fall out. And we were close. There goes Jawan Johnson. Seems to be a waiver wire hero every season. I might go Ben Sinnott here. I really like this team, but I just feel really gross at wide receiver. So I'm gonna go with the swing pick. Give me Malachi Corley. Really was gonna go Ben Sinnott there, but Aaron Rodgers said like one good thing about Malachi Corley, so I'm gonna take him here. I need a Baltimore. Bring him back. Now I have to reach for Tez Walker. Oh, my bad. Do you have Lamar? Bro, you need a quarterback. What QB are you gonna take? You gotta have some depth behind an AR. Yeah, dang, Justin Herbert goes so late. You know, there goes Ben Sinnott. Albert, what's up, my dude? Hello, hello, hello. I might just draft Isaiah Likely because Kat said to. I mean, you better take Baker, bro. Baker, Will Levis, JJ, Bryce Young, Derek Carr, Drake May, Justin Fields, Daniel Jones, Bo Nix, Russell Wilson, Aiden O'Connell. There are names. Bro, you better take Baker. We all know he's the GOAT. Okay. All right. I once again, so looking at things right now, we have 4 more draft picks. So 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Let's go. Let's go. If we wanted to, I mean, we could go with another quarterback over one of those positions, but I don't know. Sometimes with like when you're going super late round tight end, it's just kind of like sometimes maybe you see another player at a different position. You're like, I'll just take this player, So, see, part of me was starting to think maybe I can get Troy Franklin and Marvin Mims, and then take Bo Nix like super late, and then just be like, you never know, because we already have Cortland Sutton on this team, so maybe I should have gone Troy Franklin over Malachi Corley. But yeah, a lot of people really, there goes Marvin Mims, really, really, really low on wow, I can't talk, on the Broncos offense. So they really do look like one of these teams that you can build like a really late round stack around. I mean, even Javante's going super late. He went at 9.7. We got Sutton at 7.11. Franklin at 15.1. Marvin Mims at 15.2. And you have to ask yourself the question, is it Bo Nix for you, or is it one of these other quarterbacks on that team? Timeout with Henry, my dude. What is up, man? Good to see you. Hello, hello, hello. I'm doing good. How are you doing, my guy? Always good to have you in the building. We appreciate you hanging out tonight. It's almost that time of season. If A-Rich dies, team is trash. Hey, it's a little risky based on last season. All right, I am telling you guys, I'm going to have a lot of exposure to Demario Douglas and Demarcus Robinson at their given ADP. If Chig did not get drafted right there, probably would have taken him. But I'm going to take Demario Douglas and then Demarcus Robinson. I do think I should have gone Troy Franklin over Malachi Corley, though. I think that would have made more sense. The name of the game is not depth in best ball. Everything has to go right. This is fair. I had a really, really solid team last year that, like, on paper was, like, super loaded, and mainly was super loaded because it was like a team. Because if you guys remember, I was very high on Brock Purdy last year. So I had a lot of teams where I was stacking Niners players. And, let me look back here, but this team had already advanced 2 weeks. And I'm trying to remember what week it was where the Niners just I think week 16, where they just absolutely performed awful. No, maybe it was earlier than that. I don't remember. All I know is I had a lot of Niners players, and that looked really good, and then it wasn't really good. I was going to say week 16 against Baltimore, but looking back statistically, that week was not that bad for most other players. But maybe just in comparison to whoever else played that year. I don't know. Or that week. It just wasn't as good. But I mean, yeah, even with me trying to make an example, it didn't make any sense. It is true. Everything has to go right. It was like literally like if you didn't have Mari Cooper last year, if you didn't have George Pickens, if you didn't have Brees Hall, like your advance rate towards the end of the season like was very low. Like those guys absolutely carried teams. So Douglas and Robinson are both pretty solid sleepers. Yeah, I like both of them at their ADP a lot, especially Robinson. Oh, and hey, I didn't even do that on purpose, but this is a Rams stack team. So let's go. We got all the Rams wide receivers. Okay, so tight end. We're like really relying on Dalton Schultz with this team. I like Jatavion Sanders in this range because like I feel like he can actually literally get tight end one volume. Because other than that, like I like Dawson Knox in this range because if God forbid something happens to Dalton Schultz, then he steps right into just really good volume. And you know he has that chemistry in the red zone with Josh Allen. So it's not a great situation, but we're looking at our last two picks of the draft. So I guess I'm done drafting wide receivers. I think it's so we got Puka, Cooper Kupp, McLaurin, Sutton, Bateman, Malachi Corley, Demario Douglas, Demarcus Robinson. But we're looking pretty solid everywhere else except behind Dalton Schultz. We don't really have anything going on at tight end. So I think we just draft two flyer tight ends, and I don't know if I feel good about gosh, I have never heard of Colby Parkinson before. Oh man, there goes Jatavion Sanders. Stover is an interesting pick here. Stover is interesting here. His ADP is pretty low. I like Mike Gesicki here too. Yeah, I might go Stover. I do like Mike Gesicki too. I mean, is there another tight end on Cincinnati? Why does Cincinnati just always rotates like these kind of like streamer type tight ends? Uzama, Hayden Hurst, Irv Smith. It's just like why have they like never drafted a tight end? What, Tanner Hudson, Drew Sample? All right, give me Gesicki. I feel bad. I'm not going to draft Colby Parkinson. I don't know why I feel bad. I just do. But yeah, I think we're just going to go Gesicki, Stover. I am really high on Cade Stover, but like more from a dynasty perspective. But sure, yeah, Stover is fun. We'll just draft Stover. Thinking the same thing. Tight ends are frustrating Cincinnati, 100%, 100%. But we got one. We got Gesicki. Yeah, I don't hate this team. But somewhere along the lines, I feel like maybe instead of Gus Edwards, we should have gone wide receiver. Call me crazy. Maybe instead of Stroud, we should have gone wide receiver and just like got in a second later round quarterback. But hey, It's good to mix it up. All right, I'm going to tell you guys right now, I'm doing a weekly winners tonight. J-Dubs, are you down for weekly winners? We need a weekly winners team tonight. All right, I got to put more money in my account. Uh-oh. It says Underdog locked me out. Hold on. Sometimes I have to do this from my phone. I don't know why. Okay, never mind. We're good. Okay. All right, so there's my team. I'll wait till this is over, then I'll enter weekly winners. Yeah, I'm not going to enter. I'm going to wait a minute to enter weekly winners until this draft is over for anyone. Cameron, J-Dubs. Hopefully we can all get in together and I can create a strategy that doesn't have anything to do with you guys. But yeah, there's the team. CJ Stroud, Matthew Stafford, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, DeAndre Swift, Gus Edwards, Austin Eckler, Puka Nakua, Cooper Cup, and we do have Demarcus Robinson. So we are all in on that LA Rams stack. Terry McLaurin, Cortland Sutton, Rashad Bateman, Malachi Corley, Demario Douglas, Demarcus Robinson, Don Schultz, Mike Gesicki, Cade Stover. So we have Houston's tight end room locked up as well. Watch out. I like this team. I think this was, I don't know. We thought things out, put together a decent squad. I'll take it. Now I have to look through and pick a week. All right, hold on. Let me see what the weekly winners lobby looks like. All right, we have 11 spots open, so this is good. Everyone should be able to get in if you guys want to. So I think both you guys just joined, and we will wait until 9 more people join, which might be a good thing because let me get everything pulled up here. I want to take a look at the schedule anyways. So usually what I do is I try to go through and find a week that I think there's a lot of good matchups. And or I'm going to like literally just go like all in on 2 or 3 specific teams. But let's take a look here. I'm going to glance over the upcoming schedule. And see if I can find a week that I feel good about. All right, week 8, we got Vikings, Rams, Packers, Jags, Jets, Patriots, Colts, Texans, Falcons, Bucks, Bills, Seahawks, Panthers, Broncos, Cowboys, Niners, Bears, Commanders, Cardinals, Dolphins, Ravens, Browns, Titans and Lions, Saints, Chargers, Chiefs, Raiders, Eagles, Bengals, Giants, Steelers. This is my week 8. Randomly selected, and I like it. Hey, look, we got 2 more in here. Just give it a minute, boys. Give it a minute. Let me. I wish it would let you copy the link. Yeah, I bet you a lot of people are entering the Puppy Superflex, but it'll fill. Wait, we were at 9 people a minute ago. Now we're at 7. Oh, were you guys the other two? See, I wish I could send out the link so I could just post it on Discord. We are live drafting in the... There's another spot taken. Five spots. We're filling in. All right, I posted something on Discord. Maybe that'll help. But all right, so I'm looking at week 8. This is gonna be fun. It's gonna be good practice here. Whenever this draft does get filled. Vikings, Rams. Okay, let's kind of think about each game here. It's be good to think about. Vikings, bad defense last year, at least against the pass. Rams, good at throwing the football. Thursday night football. Sounds good to me. Packers, Jaguars. Once again, the Jaguars' weak secondary last year. Packers defense, always okay, right? But I like both these offenses regardless. So I'm good at going over after some of those players. Jets, Patriots could be a game to avoid. Feels gross, feels ugly. Defensive match when these two teams play, but maybe we, no Bill Belichick. We get the Jets putting up points. I don't know. Colts, Texans. I could see this game being high scoring. So we like that, right? Falcons, Bucks. It feels like whenever these two teams play, we get points. And both these secondaries pretty weak last year. Plus, I feel like you can get some good Bucks players at ADP. Maybe some, I don't know. Falcons pretty hot team right now. Panthers, Broncos. So this game, you have two offenses that probably will not be that good next year, but you get a lot of good players at given ADP. And I could see points in this game. Bears, Commanders. It feels like when these two teams play, we always get points. So, and once again, like not Bears defense, okay. Not as bad as you think if you look back to last year. Commander secondary just absolutely tragic last year, though. So I could see this being a game. Once again, like you have a lot of mouths to feed in both these offenses and some players going at good ADP. So Cardinals, Dolphins. This game I like too. And I can see points in this game. So Ravens, Browns. Ravens don't always play great against the Browns, but divisional game, whatever. Titans, Lions. Titans secondary bad last year. Lions offense good. Although I think the Titans will be better this year than some people are expecting. So Saints, Chargers. I don't know. At least you can get players at good ADP. Chiefs, Raiders, always fun when these two play. Eagles, Bengals, two good teams. Cowboys, Niners, two good teams. Giants, Steelers, two bad teams on Monday Night Football. Why is that a game, a Monday night game? Who wants to watch that? I don't know. I like this week, but man, we lost a drafter. I don't know if this is going to fill. This is so sad. I was so hyped to do a weekly winners. Oh, we got one back. Oh, we got two. I'm not going anywhere. Three. We're getting there, boys. It's gonna happen. Try to crack my neck. It's not happening. Yeah, I mean, there goes two. I think we're doing okay. It has to be because the puppy is live tonight. It has to be. And a lot of people still entering Best Ball Mania too. So Yeah, it's definitely the puppy. I'm locking into week 8. Okay. Cameron, J-Dubs, don't correlate your teams to week 8. Okay. Yeah, Best Ball Mania is filling really quickly. Really, really quickly. That's why I've been trying to get more and more entries in already. But I think they'll continue to pump out these smaller They did the same thing last year, so I think they'll keep filling out with. And I mean, I think people like having those kind of options for tournaments that only cost like $5 too. All right, 2 people. If you guys are listening, want to draft a weekly winners team, we have 1 spot left. Just go on Underdog, go to the lobby, go to weekly winners, and if you join 30 seconds per pick contest, you should get that last spot. But this is weekly winners, so it's a little different. We did our normal draft already. I swear, if we lose someone, I'm going to be so sad. I feel like no one's going to leave, though, with just 1 spot left. But we did have 1 person leave earlier, so. But we were close. All right, so my main games I'm going to look at Eagles, Bengals. There we go. Cameron, what's your username? Ooh, I'm at 1.4. You at the 1.9, Cameron. Texan fan right next to J-Dubs. Let's go. All right. I want Amon-Ra St. Brown. Lions play the Titans week 8. Wait, I thought I was at 1.4. I'm at 1.5. I mean, I still might get him. If not, I'll go Chase. Who do the Vikings play? The Rams. Yeah, I don't think I can really go wrong here. If I get JJ, St. Brown, or Chase, I feel okay. And I'll get one of those 3 guys. So, but I prefer Amon-Ra going up against the Titans secondary in week 8. We shall see. It's always like it's hard to keep track of your guys' Discord, Sleeper, Underdog, and YouTube names. Some of you guys Instagram too. All right. Give me Amon-Ra. Let's go. Okay. Boom. We got our guy. Okay. So next we have picks 20 and 29, but I really don't feel like you can trust ADP in this format. Who do the Texans play? The Colts. I think I'm going to try and go for Nico Collins there. I'm going to pick 20. Who do the Ravens play? They play the Browns. This is tough. All right, so I'm purely looking at week 8. I almost want to pull this up on my phone too. So I'm having to switch between tabs. I'm going to do that. We're going all in, boys. Week 8 NFL 2024. Packers Jaguars, another game that really intrigues me. Falcons Bucks is fun too. I'll just see who's available at pick 20. Things moving quickly. Who do the Eagles play again? The Bengals. No way Saquon comes to us. No way. I might just go Sam Laporta. I think I'm going to go Sam Laporta. I think we're going to go in on the Lions. I don't know why I'm talking like this. It's late. And then I think I'm going to I'm going to be going through a lot of different scenarios throughout the rest of this stream for this weekly winners team. So yeah, all the ADPs are different, Cameron. And tight ends and quarterbacks 10. There goes Nico. Everything's, I mean, Saquon's really hard for me to pass on right here. But I'm gonna go in on the Lions. I'm gonna go Laporta here. But Saquon is a steal regardless of what format we're in. Yeah, because I literally leading up to that pick, I was thinking, man, if Saquon's there, I'm just gonna take Saquon. Like, there's no way. But here we go. Saquon will get the Bengals defense that week too. I mean, that's a good matchup. Eagles, Bengals. But we're going in on the Lions a bit here. They play the Titans at home. So I like that. I like it. I like it. I do like Mike Evans if he falls out here. So he gets the Falcons in week 8. I probably want to go wide receiver at this next pick. Kelsey gets the Raiders. I could go double tight end, just get real freaking crazy out here. But I also like Stephon Diggs. And I like DJ Moore. Bears on the road at the Commanders. Texans at home against the Colts. We'll see. Cause see, like I like the Packers and Jags players, but they're gonna come a little bit later. Cardinals, Dolphins, kind of like Jalen Waddle here. Here goes Kyron. I don't know who I'm gonna pick. Like I said, I do like Mike Evans if he falls here. These drafts are very, very unpredictable. There goes Mike Evans. Bucks at home against the Falcons in the week I'm looking at, so I like that a lot. Cowboys Niners. We got 2 Niners here. It's a home game for the Niners. There goes Debo. And Ayuk is just a question mark. Ugh. It's DJ Moore or Diggs for me, I think. Guys, I think I'm gonna pick Travis Kelce. I'm not even lying. I think I'm gonna go double tight end. You can flex a tight end, right? I don't know. Chiefs are on the road that week. They get the Raiders. Just give me DJ Moore against Washington. It was him or Waddle. Yeah. Waddle against the Cardinals or DJ Moore against the Commanders. Or Stephon Diggs versus the Colts. Or Travis Kelce against the Raiders. But I don't know. I kind of thought that'd be fun going Laporta and Kelce, but probably too much. Royer, what's going on, my guy? Prediction to win the Super Bowl this year. Man, I feel like it's going to be a team that like isn't really as high on the radar. Niners, Ravens, Niners, Chiefs. Like it, I feel like it's still too early in the off season to really make too heavy of a call. But like those feel like the obvious picks, and I feel like it's going to be a team that we're just not thinking about as much. But I hope it's a team like the Packers or the Texans, you know, just something a little bit different this year. Lions, Buccaneers, let's go Baker. Bengals, maybe they're healthy. Maybe the Cowboys actually do something for once in the playoffs. Probably not, though. Vincent, what's up, my dude? Hello, hello. All right, picks 44 and 53. I like Pacheco coming up here if he's there. He gets the Raiders. And I do like my homies if he falls, but he probably won't. And I do like Devonta Smith. We'll see. Where do you access these drafts? Do you have to download an app? Yeah, it's all through Underdog Fantasy. So it depends on your state and if it's legalized or not. But since we started with Underdog, it's been legalized in much more states. So yeah, all through Underdog Fantasy. Oh man, I don't know who I'm picking here. Dude, the Chiefs always okay. Like I got the Kelce Mahomes stack. Very nice. All right, just give me. Man, I like Devonta Smith like too much to pass up on him. I'm gonna go Devonta Smith. He gets the Bengals in Week 8. I'm happy with that pick. Definitely happy with that pick. And then I think, see, I really wanted Isaiah Pacheco. I'm not gonna lie, but the Bills play the Seahawks, and the Bucks play the Falcons. So I might try and get James Cook as my RB1. If not, I might go ahead and take Christian Kirk, who will be in that matchup with the Packers. The stakes feel like so much higher in a weekly winners draft because you just like you can't go by ADP, you just don't know what's going to happen. And then I'm like over here stressing about the schedule. I'm just purely looking at week 8, and it's just stressful. So, but at some point, you also just have to like draft like a decent team, you know. Like that's the other thing is like I want David Montgomery on this team, so don't draft him, guys. Okay. So I'm either going James Cook, Rashad White, or Christian Kirk with this next pick, and then I'm hoping Montgomery is there at the next pick. So there goes Cook. He's gone. So it's Rashad White or Christian Kirk. You also have Dalton Kincaid, George Pickens, Mark Andrews, T. Higgins. I think no matter what, we get a good pick right here. So the only thing is, like, we're going to be kind of like a weak RB squad. But we'll get through it, I think. And kind of want Jared Goff on this squad. Ooh, Rashad White or Christian Kirk is tough. It's tough. I want to go Christian Kirk, but I'm gonna go Rashad White because, I mean, theoretically, Kirk's gonna have Jair Alexander on him in week 8, and I just we're weak at running back. We don't have a single running back. An Amon-Ra St. Brown, DJ Moore, Devonta Smith, Christian Kirk start would be beautiful. Don't get me wrong, but I think it just makes more sense to go running back right there. So let's move along. All right, Rashad White, Amon-Ra St. Brown, DJ Moore, Devonta Smith, Sam Laporta. Our start here. So the good thing is, so far, I still feel like there are late round quarterback stacks that we can hop into here. So Jada loading up on wide receiver. I can't look at your guys' team. I'm not going to look at your guys' team till the end, and then I want to hear your guys' strategies. Yeah, Pickens is a really good value there, Cameron, for sure. For sure. All right, so at pick 68, I'm hoping Monty is there. That's who I prefer. And then probably need another wide receiver. And I think I know who I'm going to target, but I'm not 100% certain yet. We'll see. The stakes are high, boys. Stakes are high. It's just kind of like everything I'm looking at, there's like weird ADPs around these players. I don't want to look. I don't want to look. Ugh. It's up to Tony Reese, goody sir. And no, Tony, my guy. Why, bro? Why? He knew I wanted Monty. He knew I needed Monty. What an absolute jerk. Vikings play the Rams. Hate that. Gosh, I hate this team. No, I'm just joking. So basically, I'm going to go wide receiver quarterback here. Mm-hmm. Oh, God, man. I think I overthought this team. We needed Monty, bro. It's just so uncool. Give me Christian Watson. Let's go, Packers. And then the question is at pick 77. I am having fun. Don't worry, I'm having fun. Don't worry, J-Dubs. But I just really wanted Monty. I mean, we have Amon-Ra and Sam Laporta, so it should be fine. But I really wanted Monty. I mean, I might not be chill, but I'm close enough. I'm close enough. I'm kind of torn on what I want to do with this next pick, though. There's two players that I like right here is my problem. Gosh, Evan Ingram's just such a solid value right there. I also like Chris Godwin here. I might just go Chris Godwin. This team is going to be a true hero running back team, and I think I'm going to regret that. See, I just never draft tight end this early, and man, it is really somewhat shaping this team. Because usually, and that's the thing, we went Laporta over Saquon, but we already had Amon-Ra, and I was like, let's go Lions, you know. That means weekly winners. Like, let's get crazy. I really like Chris Godwin right here. He gets the Falcons in week 8. I like Swift. He gets the Commanders. And I like Jordan Love. I think if we don't take Jordan Love here, he won't last till our next pick, but he might. He might. But yeah, give me Chris Godwin against the Falcons. Let's do it. Let's do it. And then really, like, we're in a good spot at wide receiver. So I think we can take like one. Like we can chill at wide receiver for a bit. Amon-Ra, St. Brown, DJ Moore, Devonta Smith, Christian Watson, Chris Godwin. What we really need to do is focus on QB and running back. Running back's going to be interesting, but I think we can make this work. I mean, we don't really have a choice. Man, I think we can make it work. As there's, of course, like a huge run on running backs here. I think we can do it, though. Panthers, Broncos, Giants, Steelers become a little bit more valuable. We'll see. There goes a Dunze. Okay, I have some backup plans here. And they include Baker Mayfield. Yeah, I might just chill it. I mean, I want Jordan Love. I really like that matchup on paper. Packers, Jaguars. He's top-rated quarterback. I don't quite know that we're going to get him. So I also kind of would not mind Caleb Williams on this team. Gets the Commanders. We have DJ Moore. Tough sledding out here. It was Jaden Daniels. JSN. I like that pick. Goes Zach Moss. I might just I might just do something that I shouldn't do right here. There goes Brian Thomas. Oh, you're going for Daniels. Kyler, 13 picks after ADP with McBride. Beautiful. Beautiful. I can't believe we got sniped on David Montgomery, dude. I mean, I can. Man, Deontay Johnson feels like a nice value right here in the 8th. Man, every player I want is available, and I hate that. Bro. Let's go, J-Mo. Opposite of what I needed to do. But we have to get these Lions players stacked up. We just have to. We don't have a choice. I think I'm moving away from the Packers offense in this build. I think Christian Watson is enough. But Jordan Love sitting there, I really didn't expect. I just really did not. Like, not at all. And I mean, I think Jordan Love's a really good value there, but we have to draft a running back. It doesn't even really matter who. Like we just we have to get a running back on this team. Like really at this point in the draft, we need to be drafting running back every other selection. So I am kind of nervous. I'm not going to get Jared Goff on this team. I might have to go Jared Goff with this next pick. QBs, like I would say in weekly winners, just end up holding more value in drafts. Like, and people go more aggressively after quarterbacks. So I think I'll go ahead and pick him. I mean, there's a couple teams that just have one QB. There's some that have none. I mean, J-Dubs has none. I'm not messing with that. So I think I'll just pick Goff, and then we are just going to a dark place at running back. Other than that, this team is like solid, but running back is like, this is a true hero running back build for sure. But yeah, this is a team that we cannot pass on Jared Goff with. And that's what's kind of fun about some of these builds is like I'm reaching for Jared Goff, and I'm in a weird spot at ADP. Don't get me wrong. His ADP is like 109. We'd pick 101. Our next pick's 115. Like, but yeah, weekly winners, you will see people reach to get specific builds, and you just have to. Cameron says so many running backs available or taken so far. Yeah, at this point, like I said, I'm moving out of that Green Bay Jacksonville matchup. Just doesn't match what we were going for. Yeah, I like Najee Harris there because I'm looking at week 8. He has the Giants at home. That just feels like one of those Najee Harris games where you look up and he has 20 points. You know, that's who I really felt like I should have taken maybe over Jameson Williams. But I didn't. We have See, that's the thing. If we had David Montgomery, I'd feel like I don't know because I like aggressively going after one offense and just making a gamble that this is going to be the week that they do really well in weekly winners. And even if it doesn't end up being week 8, well, maybe it's a different week of the season. And you have, I mean, like this is a kind of a loaded comparison, but when you look at the Broncos Dolphins game, it was like all of the top teams and weekly winners that week had A Chain and Mostert and or Hill and or Waddle and or Tua. And like seriously, there were teams that had A Chain and Mostert that week. When you look at ADP last year, that was something that you could absolutely do. So, um, even if it's not the specific week that you're looking at, it could certainly be a different week that you're not expecting. I do really like Romeo Dobbs in this range. See, that was my other plan is like when I picked Watson, is like, oh, maybe we can get Jordan Love to fall, and he did. And then maybe we can get Romeo Dobbs later. And like now we're in a position where Dobbs, I don't know, we're 2 picks away, and maybe he's there, maybe he's not. So, but yeah, a lot of running backs gone, which doesn't help me. But I have to pick running back here. And I'm probably just going to go Javonte Williams, unless he gets picked. And he does. Of course he does. So give me Brian Robinson. Jeez. I swear, anytime I do an underdog draft and I say things out loud, like those players, like I get sniped so much on underdog. It's not even funny. It is kind of funny, but Dobbs is a great value right there. Don't care what anyone has to say. I like it's tough because I think Dalton Schultz is like such a good pick right here, but we just like I literally cannot afford to draft anyone other than a running. I need to just have running backs picked up or pulled up and just go straight running backs here. And I'm glad Schultz got picked. But yeah, that was a good tier running back right there that I completely ignored. Pollard, Najee, Warren, Brooks, Chubb, Benson, Singletary, Gus, Eckler, Javonte. At least we got my boy Brian Robinson Jr. Now in this next tier, Tajay Spears, Blake Corum, Zeke, Chase Brown, Jerome Ford. No, I'm not out on Javonte Williams, Vincent. He's who I wanted. He just got sniped from me. No, I'm not out on Javonte at all. And I'm drafting this team based on week 8 for weekly winners. He gets the Panthers that week at home. See, the only thing is, and I do like Ford right here. Once again, I'm looking at week 8 for this tournament. He has the Ravens, but they're at home. And Jerome Ford, man, he just has a nose for the end zone. Because the other guy, call me crazy, is Zeke, but like he gets the Cowboys, or excuse me, he gets the Niners on the road, and like I like that less. Yeah, I'm gonna go Jerome Ford here. Because and yeah, I agree with who's left. It probably would be Blake Corum. Um, he has the Vikings at home, which I don't hate, but it's Thursday night football, which is always weird. And then the Vikings run defense was not bad last year. So yeah, I like Jerome Ford right there. I just don't love the matchup, but I do think at this point in this draft, talent is outweighing matchup. Yeah, so this is a weekly winners draft, Vincent. So, payouts are each week. Basically, like your roster resets each week, right? So what I like to do is pull up a specific week of the season and just pull from specific matchups for most of the draft. Like so I mean we're looking at Detroit playing Tennessee at home. So like we've got Goff, Amon Ra, Jamison Williams, Sam Laporta. We've got Chicago against Washington. We got Philly against Cincinnati, Green Bay against Jacksonville, Tampa Bay against Atlanta, Tampa Bay against Atlanta. Other than that, you know, Brian Robinson's got the Bears, Jerome Ford's got the Ravens. So, but and then also like we're looking as we're drafting some of these players for correlation to like late round quarterbacks. So obviously Goff, you can get pretty late. We went all in there. But even guys like Caleb Williams for DJ Moore, obviously Hurts not going to be a thing. But Jordan Love for Christian Watson, Baker Mayfield for Chris Godwin, Baker Mayfield also for Rashad White. So there was some thought put into what we're doing, but running backs just took a hit tonight. For sure. For sure. So right now, I think at running back, we just purely look at talent. Because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wide receivers, a stud tight end. But I gotta get Baker on this squad. Nobody draft Baker, or I'll end the stream. Which no one would care about. I think I'm gonna go. I just still have to go back to back running back here. Kendre Miller, Jalen Wright, Rico Doodle, Marshawn Lloyd, Ty Chandler. I like Ty Chandler. I'll go Marshawn Lloyd. Once again, just got to look at talent. And then I think I'd go Ty Chandler at that next pick. I don't really have a choice. Then, yeah, we're going late round tight end with this team. But the good news is we have Sam Laporta. Then he just takes some dart throws at wide receiver to wrap up, How many rounds is this? This is also 18, yeah. Oh, fun night of drafting, boys. It feels weird going. I went pretty aggressive at wide receiver in this draft, which is what I usually do. But I think it's not weird that I went aggressive at wide receiver. It's weird that I also took a tight end early. But yeah, I mean, you think about this, like, let's say in theory the Lions have a good week. And then Rashad White and Brian Robinson get you 15 to 20 points. Like, they both have good weeks. And then you got Sam Laporta at tight end. And you got Amon Ra, DJ Moore, Devonta Smith, Christian Watson, Chris Godwin, Jamison Williams for your wide receivers and flex. So there's definitely a path here for sure. Jahan Dotson sitting at the top of the board feels like a good value, though. But yeah, I think I go Ty Chandler. I don't really feel like I have a choice. How do you guys feel about Antonio Gibson on the New England Patriots now? The other player I like a lot, he's available, is Luke Musgrave. Like, then we just be done at tight end. But I don't think we can afford to draft him. Cameron says no thanks. Yeah, some people like really think he's a good value where he's going. I don't quite know how I feel. I mean, really, he's connected to the Patriots, so it's like I probably don't feel good. All right, next two picks are 164 and 173. All right, we got some running back depth. Rashad White, Brian Robinson, Jerome Ford, Marshawn Lloyd, Ty Chandler. I mean, it's a running back room. You know, it's something. All right, J-Dubs, what have you done? I'm looking at your guys' teams. Let's look at Cameron's team first. Bijan, London, Lamar, McBride, Pickens, Worthy, Kyler, Moss, Brooks, Gus, Blake, Fryermuth. I like this team, actually. I like the start to your draft a lot. You were having a lot of players fall into your lap. J-Dubs has got Puka, MH Jr., Diggs, Neighbors, McLaurin, Walker, Connor, JSN, Shaheed, Devin Singletary, Cooks, Komet, Hunter Henry. Nice. What strategy are you guys entailing? What is your guys' thought process tonight? Gibson going to swipe targets from Ramondre. In theory, sure. Am I worried about it? I don't even know if I like Ramondre that much. I don't know. I just feel weird about the Patriots offense. I guess it really comes down to like, how do you view Drake May as a starter? Is he going to be the starter week 1? Everyone's taking 3 quarterbacks. Not everyone, but maybe a few. I focus on division so I can hit 2 matchups. That is interesting. Ah, okay. That makes sense. See, and it's like weekly winner strategy still being like polished out. You know what I mean? It's only the second year this tournament's been active. Will not be taking a 3rd quarterback. I don't plan on it. J-Dub's looking at week 2. I'll pull that up in a second. I swear to God, if this guy takes Baker Mayfield, the stream is over. Okay. Don't tell me this guy is Mike Evans. Who'd he take? Okay. Look, we spoke Antonio Gibson into existence. Give me Baker, baby. Baker with White and Godwin. I was hoping that Cade Otton would fall. He does not. He does not. All right. I want Chicken Conquo, but let me look at wide receivers. Like, is there anyone at wide receiver? Not really, no. Pat's offense going to suck. May's a bust. Should have drafted MH Jr. and had Milton start at QB. We shall see. I don't feel great about them either. But I don't know how much of it's Drake May or how much of it is just like this organization is in a complete reset. And I'm at least happy Marvin Harrison Jr. is on a team with a competent quarterback so we can watch him at hopefully full potential. Oh, I need to look at week 2, see what J-Dubs was doing. Yeah, we went over week 2 on Saturday night stream. Bills, Dolphins, Hawks, Pats, Chargers, Panthers, Colts, Packers, Jets, Titans, Raiders, Ravens, Bengals, Chiefs, Bears, Texans, Niners, Vikings, Giants, Commanders, Saints, Cowboys, Browns, Jags, Bucks, Lions, Rams, Cardinals, Steelers, Broncos, Falcons, Eagles. You do have some nice matchups week 2. When you guys are in weekly winners, what do you guys feel like is the most valuable? Like when you are chasing a specific matchup, wide receiver, running back, quarterback, tight end, anything specific? I don't know if I want to go Chuba Hubbard or take a wide receiver. I think I'm going to go Chuba, and that'll be my entire running back room. Unless he gets drafted. Which, knowing my luck, he probably will. All right, just give me Chuba. We'll move on. I'm actually pretty happy with this draft. We got 3 picks left. I think we can round this out with some late rounders. Wide receiver versus wide receiver correlation is highest. Yeah, I have to look more into that. Because that's what I was starting to think too. Is like if he, oh man, there goes Demarcus Robinson. I'd hope he'd last a while. But yeah, like I was thinking about drafting some Titans players just to kind of because like I'm kind of betting on the Lions Titans game here, and it's like, well, kind of have to expect the Titans to also be scoring points in that game, right? Yeah, I was hoping Robinson and or Chig would fall out, but I knew Chig didn't have a good chance because although his ADP doesn't match where he got drafted, he's the second highest rated tight end available. It looks like I'm just drafting some Panthers players to round this draft out. So really with this squad, I feel like best available players, best thing to do right now. But we do need some tight end depth. And really, if we're just banking on week 8 alone, like we don't really need to draft another wide receiver, but we have 2 kind of wild cards in Christian Watson and Jameson Williams. So, but it's like, is there really anyone left who makes me feel great? Because like the Jets play the Patriots. So I don't really feel good about like Demario Douglas late. The Dolphins are at home. Like I would consider Odell Beckham here. They play the Cardinals. Be one of the 3 games next year that he scores a touchdown. May as well just draft Khalif Raymond at this point. This is interesting. When you look at the stats on here, it gives you the weekly average projection based on last year. That's interesting. But yeah, I don't think I would draft any other wide receivers available. Maybe DJ Chark. I'm on the clock. This is such a gross. I'm literally just going to pick Odell Beckham. And then I'm just going to pick 2 tight ends to close this thing out. I mean, we have Laporta, so I'm not like overly worried. I actually like the way this team turned out. Maybe I'll take a quarterback. Who do the Saints play? The Chargers on the road. I would draft Derek Carr at this point in the draft. Why not? So yeah, I'm okay with this team. I'm going with the F it. One of these wide receivers will get a touchdown strat. Beautiful. Beautiful. I think also when you do weekly winners, like depending on how many entries you're going to do, you do want to have some entries where you just like go out and you just draft like a solid team. You know what I mean? Like just draft a team and just try and draft a good fantasy team and see where that takes you. All right, week 8. This was my entry. My The thing that makes me the saddest about this draft is getting sniped and having David Montgomery taken from us. This is the saddest part of the draft. He should have been on our team. If he was on our team, everything would be perfect. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think Sam Laporta at 2.8 or Saquon Barkley was the right move? We still got Jared Goff and we got Jameson, so I'm not too upset with it. Saquon was really tough to not pick right there, though. Getting sniped on Jaden Daniels is worse. Did you want him that bad? Oh, you had McLaurin. That's fair. Nothing's as bad as Monty getting taken from me. Yeah, I feel like Laporta was fine there. If we didn't get Goff, then maybe I'd regret it. Barkley, I don't care what the matchup that week is. He was like, he's a really tough value to pass there for sure. He should have not been available. And he gets the Bengals, which is like, they were good enough against the run last year, but it doesn't matter. And Eagles Bengals was like going into this one of the matchups I had circled. Part of the reason we picked Devonta Smith when we picked him. All right, I'll go to Tavion Sanders here. But yeah, the only player we ended up getting from that matchup was Devonta Smith. But he's our wide receiver 3, so I actually like this team. I've just come to terms that running back room is weak. Giants versus Commanders was a fun game for Daniels for sure. And it's early in the season, so it's like if you are worried about injury risk, you have less to worry about. There's just nobody left at running back. Like I was just looking to see if I want to add one more player there for depth over another tight end. Because that's the other thing is like, if I'm just looking at week 8 for this build, we're just going to trust Sam Laporta is healthy and he's our starting tight end that week. But also Laporta could have a bad week, so you want options, but I don't know. QBs, top available players. Drake May, Bo Nix, Taysom Hill, Michael Penix, Gardner Minshew. Running backs, Bucky Irving, Tyrone Tracy, Khalil Herbert, Keaton Mitchell, Tank Bigsby. Wide receivers, Jalen Tolbert, Darius Slayton, Rondell Moore, Jalen McMillan, Jalen Hyatt. It's gross out here. Tight end, Jelani Woods, Tucker Kraft, Greg Dulcich, Darren Waller, Zach Ertz. Yeah, I think I might as well just draft a tight end. Barkley with a great offensive line, very good quarterback, will alter defensive rankings. Yeah. No, I don't care who they're playing. I still love that matchup for him. Sometimes it doesn't matter what the matchup is on paper, too. It's like, these are two good teams. We might just get points that day. I might just draft Gerald Everett to end this draft. So we have some Chicago exposure on this team. And he's the type of player, even with Cole Kmet there, could just get a random touchdown. We have some Chicago exposure, as in we just have DJ Moore, but I mean, really, like, there's just nobody out here. It's just drained. Tyrone Tracy, Khalil Herbert, Keaton Mitchell, Bigsby, Drake May, Bo Nix, Darius Slayton, Braylon Allen, CEH, Alexander Madison, Isaac Garando, Rondell Moore, Tucker Kraft, Jalen McMillan. Now, Jalen McMillan is actually interesting here. because I do feel like he could be the slot receiver unless they put Godwin there. But even then, he could just be the wide receiver 3. We have Baker. We have White. Ooh, that made things interesting. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go boring. I'm just going to pick Gerald Everett. Danny Dimes can give me production against the Commanders. Cameron says Drew Lock. Yeah. Woods for the upside bet. I actually I wish we had one more round so I could take Jalen McMillan. But I think we're okay at wide receiver. I'd rather have just that additional tight end depth. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is late for me. This was the longest stream we've done in a while, but it was a ton of fun. So I will be back on tomorrow night for another Underdog draft, probably just Best Ball Mania tomorrow. And then we'll probably do mock draft streams like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So we will have content coming out throughout the week. And thank you guys for drafting. Thank you guys for hanging out. Very fun stream tonight. Appreciate you guys. We'll talk soon. We'll draft soon. Everyone be safe. Have a great night. And with that, I will say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on The Catch. And peace.